If you would have invested about $10,000 at the very beginning of 2017, your money now would be worth about $1 million. If you converted that Bitcoin back to dollars, it would be worth nearly $1 million. There's a lot of excitement and hype around cryptocurrency and how much money you can make in a relatively short period of time. That being said, is cryptocurrency a wise investment? And how does cryptocurrency investing compare to investing into traditional real estate? Everyone, this channel is created for you and your success. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that bell icon if you don't want to miss out on a single video that can put $1 million in your pocket. Hey everyone, my name is Zack Boothe, and I love helping people just like you create financial freedom. But before we dive in and I share my understanding behind cryptocurrency and real estate investing and which one is better, I want to know from you in the comments, do you believe that investing into cryptocurrency as a good investment or not? Comment yes or no below. For decades, real estate investing has been the go-to investment. It has been a place to shield your money against taxes and high taxes, and a place for your money to grow and your net worth to grow in value, as well as creating cash flow or passive income. In my opinion, it was the best investment strategy. Is it still the best investment strategy, or is cryptocurrency the new norm? Is cryptocurrency going to do better than real estate investing over the next handful of years? Stick with me as I share the pros and cons and the things to be careful of so you don't miss out on making money and so you don't lose a ton of money in investing into crypto or real estate. Okay, let's talk about cryptocurrency. Let's talk more specifically about the most popular form of cryptocurrency known as Bitcoin. All Bitcoin is a type of currency. The main difference between cryptocurrency and other currencies like the US dollar or the Japanese yen or the real or the euro, these currencies are backed and governed by governments as well as their financial institutions and their banking systems. What regulates the value of something like Bitcoin is people's perspective and opinion about the coin. So if a lot of people are excited about it and buying that currency, the demand goes up. And so the cost goes up in comparison to the currency that you currently use where you live. So for example, if you're in the US and you're using the dollar and people are buying a lot of Bitcoin, the value will go up in comparison to the dollar. In contrast, the same is true. So if people start selling Bitcoin, they start trading out their Bitcoin for a different currency and getting rid of it, then the value of Bitcoin will drop. And as you've seen over the last handful of years, last decade, the price and value of Bitcoin has gone up and down, but is trending upwards over time. There is no way to guarantee that Bitcoin will continue to rise or that it will continue to decline. It is very hard to predict and control the direction of the currency. The reason for that is it is all based on emotion. If people fear that the value will drop, they'll sell. Some, not all people, but a large portion of people will sell, and it will continue to drive the prices down. But if it starts to trend upwards and there's positive news reports, people get excited and buy, and the value will continue to climb. Depending on the news and the emotion behind it, the value of that currency changes. Many people have started trading Bitcoin as it fluctuates up and down in value, meaning they're trading from the US dollar to Bitcoin and back and forth and trying to buy and sell depending on the shift of which one is gaining or losing traction in value. Trading from one currency to the next has been a common practice for a long time. This is called foreign exchange trading or the Forex market, and this has been a common thing for a long time. During the COVID shutdown, I actually played a little part in it. I did the Forex trading market, I bought a course, and I traded and lost money. It was a great time. So if you trade your dollars to the pesos, and the value of the peso then rises in comparison to the US dollar, and then you trade the pesos back in for US dollars, you magically have now created more US dollars than you started with. So you are making money by doing that. So the question is this a good idea? Is this a good strategy? So let's talk about this. Let's say you buy Bitcoin with the hope and expectation that it's going to go up in value. Let's say you buy it and the value of the Bitcoin drops drastically in comparison to the value of the dollar. Now you are stuck. Will it go up? Can you control it going up? Can you help it from falling even more? Can you keep Bitcoin from failing overall as a certified currency that people will take seriously? Or will eventually people give up on the coin? I honestly don't have answers to all of those things. But let me ask you this. Can you control the value of the dollar compared to the price of real estate? Can you control the value of the dollar in comparison to another foreign country's currency? And the answer is not really. You need to understand that investing into cryptocurrency is speculation, or also known as gambling. If you look at it, all investing is gambling. You put money in with hopes that it will go up in value over time, or that the investment will pay you more than what you paid for it over an extended period of time. The reason that I believe that crypto is a higher risk investment or gamble is you have less control of that opportunity. You have less control of that asset and the value and how it works. Plus, there's not as much intrinsic value with a currency as there is in something that is a physical need of a human being, like a house or a piece of real estate, right? We need shelter to survive. A demand for housing, a demand for real estate, the land and the structure that sits on it has what is called intrinsic value. That means actual physical value, where currencies can change. We can change what we use to trade things. Before we used the barter system, before we used money, we traded corn for pigs and pigs for corn. And it was a lot harder to trade because you had to find someone that had what you needed and that you had something that they needed. And currency was just a way to measure the value of things and to have it to be able to quickly trade and create economic growth within a society. The only reason people are buying crypto is the hopes of a fast and quick growth. With that being said, I do hold cryptocurrency. I hold 5% of my net worth in various cryptocurrencies. I hold mostly Bitcoin, so about 2.5% of my net worth is held in Bitcoin. I also hold 5% of my net worth in precious metals like gold and silver. I do not buy crypto or gold and silver with the hope that it's going to go up and make 100x return on my money in a few short years. I'm not going to say that I would not appreciate it if it did, but the whole reason that I am buying crypto and I'm buying gold and silver is a hedge and a bet against the decline of the dollar in comparison to other things. So it is more than anything an insurance policy for my wealth. The majority of my wealth is actually held in real estate. So if you look at the percentage of where I have my money invested, I believe the best and most secure and most sure way to grow my money is real estate, according to where I invest my money. I'm not giving you investment advice, but I think it's the best, and I'm about to share with you why I think that is. It may not be as fun and as sexy as 100 times return in just a few short years, but I promise you it is something that you can control and own and grow in a more systematic and mathematical way. I'm going to do a little experiment now. If you are liking what I'm saying and you agree with me, I want you to hit the like button. If you don't agree with me, or if you think I'm completely off, I want you to hit the dislike button. I want to see how many people like or dislike the content that I've shared so far. So this will be fun to see. So let's talk about why real estate. One of the things that I love about real estate investing is if you buy a piece of property and you are investing properly, it actually will not hurt you if the value of that property drops in comparison to the US dollar or any other currency. There's more than one way to make money off of real estate investing. Because you have multiple ways and streams of income off of real estate, it takes away a lot of the risk. You are not just betting on the value to go up. So those that are buying houses just to flip them, That is also speculation and a hope and a gamble that the value of the house will stay what it was in comparison to the US dollar, or that it'll continue to rise. You can have more security in making sure you do not owe more than 75% of what you're going to sell it for in the future. Because if housing prices have its maximum highest drop that it had before, you can at least sell it at break even. You might not make your profits, but you have a little bit more security and proof over the long term of the history of our country that the price of houses only drops X percentage on the worst drops in value over the long term. So if you purchase real estate at the proper pricing, if you purchase it correctly, there's something really cool that you can do. You can rent out the house to, or the property, or the multifamily unit, or the commercial space. Whatever the property is, you can rent it out to someone else. If you have set up your financing and the purchase price correctly, that tenant will pay for all of your expenses. It'll pay for the financing, it'll pay for the property management company, it'll pay for maintenance and repairs and taxes and insurance and everything else that comes with owning a house, including the times that the house goes vacant because you don't have anybody renting it. Beyond having the tenant pay for all of those expenses and everything that goes with it, you should also create extra money every month after paying those expenses. That is called cash flow or mailbox money, right? That is money that is left over afterwards. That is passive income. That is one of the coolest parts about real estate investing. According to history, over a much longer period of time than what we see with Bitcoin, the value of real estate continues to increase in comparison to the dollar. It is a great place to park your money. And the main reason for that is the value of the dollar is actually what is losing value in comparison to real things like commodities and houses and actual physical assets like gold, right? So you need to understand that buying real estate is a much safer place than holding money in cash in the US dollar. Robert Kiyosaki talks about this and says that saving is for losers, because over time the value of the dollar is dropping. So it's much smarter to have your money parked into a place that is going to hold its actual value. The longer you hold your real estate, the more money you will make, because not only does it go up in value, but the value of the rent income will increase. The amount you can charge for rent will go up with time. One of the final perks that is very unique to real estate are the tax benefits or the tax incentives that the US government puts on real estate in this country. Let's say you buy Bitcoin and it goes up and you make $1 million, and then you sell and trade it back to the US dollar. The government is going to want to get a piece of that pie. You're going to have to pay taxes on that return, right? But let's say you buy a piece of real estate, you hold it for 10 years, and it goes up in value by $1 million. When you sell that piece of property, you can actually take all of the profits and then reinvest it back into real estate and not have to pay any taxes. So you can make that money continually snowball without having to pay taxes. You have to use what's called a 1031 tax exchange. It's one of the regulations and loopholes to pay less in taxes while investing in real estate. Another benefit that the government allows investors to use when it comes to real estate is something that's called depreciation. So let's say you buy a piece of real estate. Over a certain period of time, you can show expenses, or you can show that the house is losing a percentage of its value year over year. So on paper, you're showing this loss that's actually not happening. The value of the house is not dropping, it's actually going up. But on paper, you're losing money year over year. So all of that rental income, all that passive income that you're making, you don't pay any taxes on it. And on top of that, if you do it right, you can even show that you're losing even more money than what you're making on the rents. So that loss, or that phantom loss, that paper loss, you can show it against other income and other streams of income like your company or your day job or anything else, and not pay taxes on that income. It is how the wealthy are able to legally not pay taxes when they're making money, when the money is raining from the sky. Like I said, all investing really is gambling. You are putting money out there and hoping that it comes back. Let's say you go to the casino. If you ever heard the saying, the house always wins. The casinos always win over time. So mathematically, every single game, the slot machines, that the casinos will win over time. The more you play, the more money you put out there, the higher chances that you will lose money, and the casinos will make money. Because every game they have is in favor of the casino mathematically. And so if you want to be a good investor, you need to work just like the casinos. You need to stack all of the odds and all of the percentages in your favor. So over time, the more money you invest, the more money you will make. You will have moments that you make mistakes. You will have moments that things don't work out like you want. You will have acts of God. You will have tornadoes. You will have things that you did not expect, and you will lose money. You will have moments that you will lose money. But if you do it properly, mathematically, the odds will be in your favor, and with time, it is guaranteed that you will go up and your net worth will increase, your passive income will increase, and you will build financial freedom. In summary, the way most people invest into cryptocurrency is in the hopes that it will go up or that it will go down, and it's sheer speculation. It is a sheer hope of making a lot of money very fast with very little effort and very little understanding or education when it comes to financial education. Real estate has opportunities for the value of it to go up and you make money over time. It has opportunities for cash flow. It has opportunities for tax benefits and paying less money in taxes and shielding income. Beyond that, real estate itself, the land and the structure on it is used for the good of humanity, for living, for business, for entertainment. It is a physical need of human beings to have houses that has actual intrinsic value in comparison to a currency and how we trade goods that are actually human needs. Remember this, what is most important when you're trying to decide how to invest your money and how to grow your wealth, what comes first is to evaluate what your goals are and why you want to accomplish those goals. Then comes a second part of educating yourself and understanding the path that needs to be taken to accomplish your goals. There's many ways to create value or generate money or wealth, right? Be cautious of promises or hopes of giant returns with very little work or value added on your part. Remember, money is just a measurement of value that was provided. Ask yourself, if I invest this money, what value is being created? Try and understand, what is the problem being solved? Who am I helping? Who is benefiting? And if you do not understand who it's helping and how it's helping them, make sure you continue to educate yourself on the investment before you make that investment, because if not, it's just sheer gambling and hope. And remember, you want to stack the odds in your favor mathematically when it comes to investing. Everyone, thank you so much for joining me. I used to be a broke window cleaner. Real estate investing, more specifically real estate wholesaling, changed my life, and I've been able to help many other people find that success. I teach people how to get started, how to find deeply discounted properties and turn it into big fat paychecks, right? If you have any interest in learning how to get started and having direct access to me, having my cell phone, being able to have access to me to help you through your deals, and my step-by-step guide on the exact action steps that's required to get your first deal in the next 3 months, go ahead and go book a call so you can talk to us about what's in the program and how it works to see if it's something that you would like to start and something you would like to be a part of. You can go to dfdmastery.com/start now. It's also in the show notes. Go ahead and go to that link and book a call, and we'll be talking to you shortly. If you're wanting to get started in real estate investing, but you don't have a ton of money to invest, and you were anything like me when I was a broke window cleaner trying to get into this space, well, I want you to understand there's something you can do. It's called real estate wholesaling. It's how I got my start, and it's how I'm making over $1 million still to this day every single year. So what I did is I took $1,000, I flew to another market, I flew all the way across the country to a place I had never been. I flew to Florida, Tampa, Florida specifically, and the goal was to turn that $1,000 into over 40 grand in 40 days. Not only did I do that, but I turned it into $93,000. Took a film crew with me and I documented day by day exactly what it took, exactly what I did, so you guys can watch. So you guys can get your start at finding deeply discounted opportunities and passing them on for a finder's fee. The reason this is so cool is because if you can find deeply discounted deals, not only can you have cash, but you have opportunities to invest your money once you do have it. It's a great business model. It's a great way to get started. You can watch that content for free right here. It's completely free. Just wanted to let you know about it. I will also link it in the description. Hope you guys enjoy, and thank you so much for joining me. We'll see you in the next video.